Two stories from this week, about 48 hours apart, are quietly redefining what freedom means in America. First, President Trump announced a sweeping executive order targeting flag desecration. He directs the Justice Department to vigorously prosecute cases to bring legal challenges aimed at narrowing First Amendment protections and to seek the denial of visas, residence permits, and naturalization to people convicted of defacing the flag. Here's the thing. In 1989, the Supreme Court ruled in Texas v. Johnson that burning the flag, even if offensive, is protected political speech. The court reaffirmed that protection in U.S. v. Eichmann just a year later. This order doesn't just test the law, it tests the nation's tolerance for dissent. And you're going to want that dissent. James Madison once warned that punishing opinion, no matter how unpopular, was a deeper threat to democracy than the opinions themselves. And Jefferson reminded us, error of opinion may be tolerated where reason is left free to combat it. Second, in D.C., National Guard units were authorized to carry service weapons and begin patrolling with them this week. Often handguns, with some reports noting M4 rifles. The administration says it's part of a broader crime crackdown. It's one of the most visible armed deployments in years, recalling the scenes from Lafayette Square in 2020 or the massive security presence ahead of the 2021 inauguration. Back in 2020, U.S. Park Police used smoke canisters and pepper balls to clear protesters from Lafayette Square while D.C. police deployed CS gas just a block away. And while the president has full command of the D.C. National Guard and can deploy them under D.C. Code 49103, broader federal deployments are still constrained. The Posse Comitatus Act forbids using federal troops for civilian law enforcement unless Congress authorizes it. That boundary now feels increasingly thin. Hamilton in Federalist No. 8 warned that standing armies at home were among the greatest threats to liberty. But in Federalist 29, he envisioned a disciplined militia under national control that could defend the Republic without overwhelming it. Today we live between those two visions. On one side, a government enforcing symbolic loyalty, demanding reverence for the flag. And on the other, a government tightening its grip with uniforms and rifles in the street. What happens when symbols become sacred, but rights become negotiable? When power moves quietly, through orders and armed presence, instead of laws and open debate. The flag is supposed to represent freedom. The Guard is supposed to protect the people. But what happens when the flag becomes a weapon and the soldiers are pointed inward? Our founders warned us about this, not in whispers but in ink, and it still seems we're living the same lessons again and again. What happens when history repeats but we did not learn from it?